Hi everybody, so I wanted to do this video kind of separate from the others, give it some time here. This is a pretty cool feature, has to do with playing background music behind each of your slides. So as you're presenting and you jump from slide to slide, the music will stay constant, and you can even get to a point where you say, well, when I eventually get to a certain point, a certain slide, then I want that current music to stop, and then I want a new song or whatever to start up at that point. So you can actually set this up so where as you're actually presenting this live, I mean, you're actually the one presenting, and you're not having this go by itself. I mean, you're jumping from slide to slide, so you can make it so where it will continually play the music like I said before. Or you can automate it where you set a certain amount of time for each of your slides to stay on the screen, and then of course it goes on to the next one. We did that in one of our previous videos. So whether you're going to be doing this automated as far as presenting, or you're going to be doing it manually where you're actually doing it yourself, either way this feature works fine, and I'll show you how to do both with this. So first of all, just think about this. We're going to have two different songs kind of playing in the background. So maybe starting with slide 1, we'll have one song going, and then when we get to maybe slide 10, or better yet, when we start slide 11, the music will stop from that first 10 slides, and a new song will start up on slide 11, something like that. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we're on slide number 1 here. So what we'll do is we'll go over here to the Insert tab, all right? We'll go over here into the media area, click onto that, that's the media group. We'll go over here to audio, all right, and then we'll go audio on my PC. So it's going to be music that's on my PC. So I'm going to click onto that, all right. Now these are MIDI type files, MIDI. They have an extension like MID. These are usually created from like a synthesizer of some sort. That versus your MP3, which is kind of like your CD quality type song and so forth. You can't really get voice to be presented properly or very well with MIDI, all right? But we're just concerned about just the music. So whether you use an MP3 or you go with a MIDI, that's totally up to you. There's other formats that you can go with as well. I mean, if you look at this, let me just pop this down here so you can see this. I mean, there's quite a few in there that you can work with. So again, these are probably your two most popular, the MIDI or the MID, or the MP3. Anyway, so we're going to start out with the let's say with the Hawaii 501 here. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll double click that. There it goes. Now what happens is it ends up giving you a little icon, and what we're going to do as well is make sure that when we go to do the presentation, that doesn't display, the icon doesn't display in the presentation. It'll display in the edit mode like we're in right now, but not when we're presenting it. So what we can do, just kind of get out of the way, is kind of maybe just drag it down to about right there. Okay, and I'll just play it here real quick for you so you can see this. I'll come up here eventually. Sounds pretty good, for not being really an MP3. Okay, so there you go on that one. Anyway, so while we're here, you'll see up here we've got, while this is selected, up here we have the audio format and we have the playback tabs that have appeared. Okay, now at this point then, over here, and this is in the playback tab here, you'll see where it says start, meaning start the song. Well, what we can do is we click onto there and we tell it we want to start automatically. So the minute that or the second that you start your presentation, it will start playing, okay? Now, at this point, what we want to do is we want to make sure that if we just leave it the way it is, it'll play it on the first slide, but the minute we go to the second slide, it stops. So we have to tell it that we want it to play across our slide. So we click onto that. And just in case it takes us longer than the length of the song to get to, let's say, slide number 10, all right, it will restart if we wanted to by choosing the loop. All right, if we don't do the loop, and let's say we're on slide 8 and the music ends, well then from slide 8 and slide 9 and slide 10 we won't have any music. All right, so that's up to you how you want to do that. And that all can be turned on just by going in here and hitting play in background. See, so it's kind of interesting that if I just do it this way, if I were to, let me just back up here, if I originally had it the way it was before, it pretty much just click in sequence, but these were turned off here. I can just tell it instead just go ahead and here play in background, and that just turns everything on for you. Okay, so that's pretty much all you need to do initially, but here's going to be the problem. When you go to use this now, and you do your presentation, it will play the music. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, it'll keep on going. But when you get to slide 10, or actually to slide 11, let's say, where we wanted it to start with that new song, it will just keep on playing. So even if we go to slide number 11 and set up another song to start from that point on, what will end up happening is this one will start playing over or along with that one that starts on slide number 11. So here's what we need to do. So it's not a real complicated thing. What we need to do in first case is go back over to our animations over here and tell it that we want to see the animation pane, and that will pop open that panel, and we saw that in previous videos. Now what we'll do is we'll click on that little drop down arrow there. We'll go to our effect options, all right, and you can see on here that it says it's going to stop playing after 999 slides. We don't even have that many, but it definitely will go through our entire presentation. What we have to do is tell it that we want it to stop after, in this case, slide number 10. So we can just go into here and type in the number 10. So it'll stop playing after slide number 10. That's all. That's all you got to do there. Hit OK on that. Now we're set on that. All right, now on slide number 11, so let's go over here to slide number 11. There it is. All right. Now we're going to bring in a different song. So starting with that one. So we're going to go back to Insert. All right. Go back to our media group. Go to Audio. Audio on my PC. And this one's going to be the Genie one. I Dream of Genie. So we'll double click on that one. All right. Now that puts that one down there as well. So we'll just put that down here to get out of the way, like before. So we'll just go ahead and hit the play in background. That'll take care of that. We don't really need this on here anymore. All right, so that's good on there. Okay, so now we'll go back to slide number 1. Oh, I probably should have done the previous one, but we'll just go here to the first here. We need to click on that one there. And over here in the playback, we want to tell it to hide it during the show. All right, so it's already got that check, so that's okay there. Let's check on slide number 11. On that one, we'll click onto it as well. And on here, we'll go back into playback, and that too is hidden, so we're set there. Now you can also kind of change the volume. It's kind of interesting. So whatever your volume is set at the time on your computer, okay, it'll play the songs at that same volume. But if you go back here to, and we're on slide number 11, so we're on that second song. If we go here to volume, all right, we can set it for, let's say, low or medium. I'll set it for medium, all right, on that one. And then we'll go back to the first slide, and we'll click on that song. And again, we'll go back into our playback here, go back to the volume, and make that medium as well. Okay. Okay, so let's see how this thing turns out as we're doing our presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a slideshow over here. I'm just going to click on to from beginning. So I'll click onto there. Now watch what happens. You'll hear it. I think you can hear it there. So as I'm going from each of my slides here, I'll go to my next slide there. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next slide. I can stay on them as long as I want. my thing here. And you'll see the slide number down there at the bottom right-hand corner. So I go ahead. Eventually now, I'm on slide number 10. Now this is where we're going to make the transition to the next song. So watch what happens. I'm on 10 right now. I'm going to go to the next slide. And there we go. And here's the Genie one. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and hit the escape and get out of there, and that worked out pretty well. Okay, so now, that's one thing, all right? So that would be you using this while you're just doing your own, your self-run, or you're running a, human run presentation, right? So what if you were to record the timings, let's say, on this, right? And because what you want to do is eventually just kind of play this to an audience. You're not going to be saying anything. They're just pretty much just going to read it, and they're going to hear the music, playing along as well. So we're just going to put the timings in, and it's going to work just fine nonetheless. So what I'll do is I'll go back here to slide number 1. We'll go over here into our slideshow tab. We have in the setup area where it says rehearse the timings. Right now we have no timings. So we'll go ahead and we'll click onto that. Okay, so there's our first slide. Of course, you can hear the music. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. All right, so there it is. So there's the first slide. There's our second one, third one. So you're pretty much kind of planning how much time you're going to spend on each of these slides. We covered this in a past video, but you're just going to go through each one just like that. Eventually, now I'm up to slide number 10. Now I'm ready to make the transition to slide number 11. And there's slide number 11. And I can hear the Genie one going. So just kind of go through each of them just like that. And eventually when I get done, then we're done. I say yes, I want to record the timings or save them. Say yes, and there we go. See, so now, if I go over into my, go over to the transitions, or actually, I don't even have to do that. We'll go over here to the slide sorter so you can see this a little better here. So on the slide sorter, you can see all the different timings that we have on there, and that's what we had gotten, just what we just did previous here. So that's what happens there. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and play this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be doing anything with the mouse once I get this thing started. So I'm going to go back to the slideshow, go back to the from beginning. My hands are off the mouse. And now here it starts up. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. And as you can see it, the slides are going from one to the next. So it's pretty kind of interesting. So now, slide number 11. There we go. Now we got the new song there. And that's it. That's how it all works. I'm going to go ahead and just hit the escape. And remember, when you're doing that type of thing as well, where it's going to be kind of like a self-running presentation, you could optionally go over here where it says set up slideshow and tell it that you want to have the slideshow run over and over again just by doing this loop continuously until somebody hits the escape on the keyboard there, and then it'll stop the presentation. Otherwise, it'll just keep on going around in circles over and over, hundreds, thousands of times, what have you. So pretty slick. So that's what I wanted to show you. Again, I didn't want to have that the last video that we did get too long by having to add this to it, so I just figured make a new video off it. So hopefully this helps you. Hopefully you can start using this. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.